Welcome to the Don't Stifle Me podcast. My name is Jacob Stiefel, and for the time being, I am your host, but I am also your sponsor as a singer and songwriter and touring artist in this crazy, crazy music business world. I have 3 CDs that are all available on iTunes and other outlets wherever you get your music, and my merchandise and tour dates are all up at jacobstifle.com, and social medias are at jacobstifel on Twitter, Instagram, and the barely used Snapchat account. A few upcoming shows. I'll be in Maryville, Tennessee, over close to Knoxville at the Shed for Saturday, May 6th for the Black Dragon Breakdown Festival. And Friday, May 19th, I will be in Nashville, Tennessee at the Sutler Saloon. Saturday, May 20th, I'll be in Fort Payne, Alabama, my hometown, for the Third Friday Festival there in downtown Fort Payne. Those are all full band shows and will be very fun, and you should all come out if you are in the area. And all right, numero ocho, show number 8. Here we go.
Pick it up from piano.
Joining me in the operations station today is Lee Brice. Now, above being, he is Lee Brice's brother, but above that, Louis is an artist, he's a songwriter, he's a friend of mine, but he's a badass performer. He's a great live show. You should go see him anytime you get a chance. Louis stopped by the house today. We had a good talk about his background, about being Lee Brice's little brother and what that's meant to him, good, bad, what that's meant to him in life. Talked about Key West and writing songs and all kinds of good stuff. You don't believe me? Well, here, I'll prove it. Here it is, my conversation with Lee Brice. Where are you from?
I'm from Sumter, South Carolina.
Sumter, South Carolina.
Yeah, man.
Is that
It's in between.
Is that close to the coast?
It's close. About 2 hours from the coast. Okay. It's about 2 hours straight, I guess, inland, straight west from Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so Myrtle Beach was the beach to go to for spring break and all that stuff.
Did you grow up there, like born and raised?
Yeah, man. I was born and raised at Sumter, and I moved from there. Just pretty much my second year of college. I went down to Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
And then that's where I kind of bartended and started picking up a little more on music. And then from there came to Nashville.
Cool, man. I know you got one brother. Do you have any other brothers and sisters?
No, just Lee's my own sibling, yep.
Cool. Do you ever get tired of being referred to as Lee Brice's brother?
No, not really. I mean, it's just, man, I'm his brother. So.
Yeah.
And him and I are good buddies. So we're best friends, and he supports what I do. Same thing, vice versa, back to him. And if anything, I mean, he's talented. So I mean, I get compared. A lot of times I get it's after shows, and I know it's just people being people. It's like, don't say anything. Don't tell your brother, but I like your music better than yours. And that stuff you hear all the time.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty funny. So at least it's a compliment.
Well, it's got to be cool that your brothers anyway, so you're automatically close. But even closer that you do the same thing, that you completely understand what the other's going through, and he knows what you're going through, and that.
Yeah, it's fun to be able to see, I guess, from a different point of view of what I want to go through, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So and I see him. I get an advantage. I guess because I get to learn from a lot from what he goes through.
Yeah.
Whether things he does right or does wrong. I can pick up on my own.
Sure. How much older is he than you?
3.5 years.
It's not bad. Yeah. My sister's like 2.5, 3 years older than me, so same kind of thing.
Cool.
So who got into music first? You or him?
Well, we're all kind of born into it. Like my mom and my dad always sang. Well,
did they play anything?
Yeah, they never played any instruments. My mom played the piano, my dad a little bit, but never really big instruments. Kind of got in the guitar world because my mom grew up with all of her sisters in they grew up singing churches and gospel events and stuff like that.
Did you grow up going to church?
Mm-hmm.
You and Lee?
Yep.
Cool.
Grew up Baptist, growing up there. And actually, crazy enough, him and I were, we both went to the same church camp, Camp Long Ridge, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he was a band leader one year. Once I got up old enough, I was a band leader one year. So, yeah.
That's cool. When did you start playing guitar? Is that your first instrument?
Yeah, that's my first instrument. Cool. I got that like probably when I was about 11, I guess.
Nice.
11, I got my first guitar around then, and because Lee had been playing for a couple of years already, and because we got introduced to their Uncle Boy. We call him Uncle Boy. Uncle Carlisle. He was Uncle
Carlisle.
Yeah, he was.
You are some Southern boys.
Yeah. But Uncle Boy, he was the one boy of like 5 or 6 sisters or so, of siblings. Whatnot.
Yeah.
And so they called him Uncle Boy.
Is that I guess your mom's brother?
On my mom's side, yeah.
Cool.
And so, because like I said, my mom and all her sisters, they were actually called the Lewis sisters.
Ah.
So my last name, or my first name, is my mom's maiden name.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so
cool.
Whole name's a big family name.
Very cool. Were your folks all from around the Sumter area?
Yeah, around the Sumter area. Like, Granddad had a plantation there. He worked on a plantation, a dairy farm.
Yeah.
Milk cows for a living.
Yeah, my mom's mom grew up on a dairy farm.
Oh, cool.
So you said you went to high school around there?
Yeah, I went to high school around there and around Sumter, Lakewood High School.
What kind of music were you listening to when you were like learning to play guitar, junior high, and then into high school and stuff? What was Lee Brice into?
Kind of into like Skinner and some.
Don't lie. What's your most embarrassing? What's the most embarrassing CD that you think you bought?
Oh man,
I'll tell you mine when you tell me yours.
Probably it goes pretty deep. And there's always Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, that's weird, but it's not like embarrassing.
Yeah, but I would say Linda Ronstadt, but Linda Ronstadt's
that's awesome. Yeah,
So Boys the Men's awesome. That's all the kind of stuff, CDs I had.
Yeah.
I had some. I had DC Talk. Down with the DC Talk.
Okay.
Change
I'll tell you, the first CD. I'm being honest with you, folks. The first CD I bought was Chumbawamba. What was it?
I
Pissing in the Wind.
I knocked down.
Yeah, that was it. That and I think I bought that in Savage Garden. I can't believe I'm telling y'all this. Anyway, I'm not on the couch here. I'm moving on. So did you play sports or anything in high school?
Yeah, played a little football, played golf, and tried out for baseball. And I played baseball growing up and whatnot, but my high school baseball coach and I didn't get along very well. He was an awesome guy. He's still a buddy of mine, but for some reason we didn't mesh well on the baseball field. So I was out playing golf, and one of my teachers saw me out playing golf. Said, "Man, you play golf?" And I jumped over to golf. So I like golf. It's fun.
Golf is great. Yeah. Golf is one of those sports. Just so y'all know out there, I bought the Savage Garden and I bought the Chumbawamba CDs when I was like 11. I didn't know any better. It was not like 11th grade or anything.
But I get up.
Sorry, that was bothering me. Yeah, golf. Yeah, golf. I love golf, but Dad always told me golf is one of those things you have to enjoy the fact that you're doing it, because if you press yourself into being really good, you're just going to be miserable, because you have to do it like every day for a long time to be good.
It's all about consistency. It's a big thing about golf. And the thing is, I mean, in our line of work, it's kind of hard to be consistent in golf.
In anything.
In anything at all. I think that's why I work so well. I have commitment issues. So,
yeah. I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, somebody asked me what my regular schedule was or something. I was like, the only thing regular about my schedule is how irregular my schedule is.
Exactly.
But yeah, I like some golf. I haven't played in probably a year or so. I think I played last year in Texas. When I was out there, I played in some tournament with some guys. And before that, the time I had played before that was with my cousin. And apparently he thought it would be a funny idea to take a condom and stretch it out over my driver and then put the driver head cover back on. So I'm at this tournament with all these people for this charity thing in Texas, and I pull my driver out, and there's a busted condom over the head of the driver. Thanks, Chance.
Well, I mean, that's something to remember. That one. That's pretty good.
So college, you said you went to college for a couple of years. What was that experience?
It was good. I moved down to Charleston, South Carolina. I was down there bartending. I was being a young kid, getting away from my hometown, just venturing out as nobody does in my hometown.
I understand that.
I'm one of the few, that got out. But yeah, I was down there as bartender. I played a couple gigs at parties, and that's how I really got introduced to playing in front of people anyway.
Right.
And then we started this. One of my last bartending gigs when I was down there. Like I said, I got my 2 year and 5 bartending and ERTA classes do not work out well. Our server table is the same thing.
Yeah.
But my last year, one of my last jobs bartending, we had this place called Johnson's Pub in Charleston, and it was a cool little underground dive bar. But we had a lot of good bands. We were known for our music.
Cool.
And so, me and a couple of the other bartenders, they played a little bit. It wasn't their main forte, but they played. You know, it was their thing. And
yeah.
So we had our Monday nights, and we started this one thing called Guitar Slinging Bartenders.
Okay.
It's one of the coolest things ever. I want to bring it back at some point.
That's cool.
But I was tired of bartending. Keep bartending. But
maybe you can just like host the thing and be like, "Hey, I used to bartend. Now we're going to bring up bartenders." And you could play that.
It could be something cool.
Yeah.
Like, so we would have one. It wasn't a real big bar. So, but we had one person on the guitar playing, one person back behind the bar slinging drinks, and then one person just kind of walking around and managing, schmoozing, talking to people.
Yeah.
So our first time we did it, we had like just a couple people come in there. Like next time we had like 10 or 15. And then like from there on for like another 6 months, it was just every Monday night was just packed.
Yeah.
And it was just us three just going back and forth. And it was fun.
That's the goal. Yeah.
It was good. So
that's cool. So you got, at that point, what year was that? At that point, was Lee here already?
Lee was already here. Well, Lee was already here. He'd been here for a couple years. He went to Clemson actually for a couple years.
Okay.
And so he was, by the time he was leaving Clemson, going to Nashville, I was pretty much going to Charleston.
Okay. What year was that? Around?
Well, I graduated 2000, not to tell my age. But,
yeah.
So I probably about 2002.
Okay, cool.
Well, and then from there, probably about 2000. I was there about 2007, I think.
Cool. Yeah, because I moved here in 2009, and I actually met Lee out one night at Tootsie's, because it was right around the time he got the More Than a Memory cut.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like right before that? It was around 2008 or something like that, I think. Somewhere in there.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, so I met him, and I'm quite certain, I think he was drunk. I'm quite certain I was drunk.
Did y'all do a Jaeger bomb?
I know. I think we played on stage together. I think because it was not long after I moved here, and John Stone that plays at Tootsie's.
Yeah.
Pretty good bit.
Now, which John Stone? There's two John Stones.
John Stone with an H.
Aha.
Yeah, from Dogtown, Alabama.
There you go.
I had gone, because he was one of the two people that I knew when I moved to town, so I would go there to Tootsie's where he was playing on 2 or 3 nights a week, and he'd get me up and play 2 or 3 songs. So this night, I happened to be in there with my flask of whiskey in my boot, and this guy named Lee Brice was sitting in, and John was like, "You want to get up and play?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And that's all I remember about it. That's the only thing. I don't remember if we played a song or if it was good.
It had to be great. If you were on stage, right?
I don't know. Judging by my memory, it might not have been so hot. But yeah, so I don't think I probably didn't see Lee again until like 2 years ago. So
yeah, he don't get out a whole lot more anymore. He's got 2 little boys, got another one on the way. So I'm a very proud uncle.
That's cool. Uncle. Is he? I guess is he married?
Yeah, he's married.
How long has he been married?
Probably 3.5 years, 4 years.
Cool.
Something like that.
Very cool. Oh, man. So you moved here after 2 years of college?
Yeah, well, after 5 years.
Oh, 5, okay.
5 years, I got my associates in science. Got that done.
Cool.
Because I wanted to be, believe it or not, I'm a big science guy. Love science.
That's cool.
Biology. I guess it works out well because science is math and math is music. So
yeah, very much so.
I never knew how much math was in music until I moved up here, and then just like
you start getting into the system, or like the learning the actual patterns and stuff. Yeah,
so it's all just division of time. Really.
For sure.
So, and but yeah, I went there and I got my 2 year, and then at the time I was wanting to go to chiropractic school, and the curriculum at the time was you get your associates in science, then you'd go to chiropractic school.
Okay. And
that took another 3 years. So I was fine with all that, but when I finally got my 2 year, like they switched the curriculum, we had to have a 4 year, and I was like, ugh.
I could have pulled the rug out from under you on that one.
I was like, man, more school. and I was like, now I started thinking to myself, I'm like, well, if I'm going to go to more school, I want to be something else rather than, I want to be like an occupational therapist or just, something more more, I guess.
Sometimes you change your mind.
Yeah, and so, but my mind changed a lot because I was sitting here and like Lee was in Nashville and I was still young. I was 23, I guess, and I was 23 and.
So Lee was here, like, bro, you got to come.
Yeah, he was like, he's amazing because he had always told me to come up there if I ever wanted to come up there, just hang out, just to check it out, get something different. And so at the time, my daddy had he had his own business, his own electrical business, and back home, and so I had my options: either go run my daddy's business, which my daddy really wanted me to do, or go to more school. Hated school, and not saying you should hate school, just me and school didn't get along.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a myth that people are learning now, but like our generation. Sounds old saying that, but our generation, like we grew up being told you got to go to college. You got to go to college. Like after you get out of high school, it's just what you do. You go to college.
Yep.
And it's kind of bullshit. I mean,
it's
not everybody has to go to college.
No, because not everybody. Yeah, I mean, if anything, my college experience, I think I learned more about life than I did.
Absolutely, and that's a good thing about it. Like I got a degree that I don't necessarily use, but the things that I learned in those 4 years. I understand, like, that was a positive thing, and I learned a lot of things about life, but it wasn't necessarily things I wouldn't have learned
otherwise
if I would have gone out and spent those 4 years, whatever. I don't know. I don't regret going, but I also don't think that we should tell kids that they have to go. Like, right. you got to do this, or your life is over. Like, it's a little extreme.
It really is, because, I mean...
it's all kinds of successful people that didn't even finish high school. Let alone, I mean... Not that you should quit high school. Don't quit high school.
Don't quit school.
You should finish high school.
Yeah.
I can already hear people bitching at me about this.
Yeah, that's okay. We got our high school diploma. I feel good about it. Got that and a college degree. Feeling good. How's
the coffee?
Man, that coffee is good.
Is it too strong for you?
No, it's perfect.
Okay,
dude.
good.
Are you kidding me? I've
had people drink my coffee and I warn them first. I'm like, hey, it's kind of strong.
That's where I
make
like
it strong. And people say, oh, I like strong coffee. And then sometimes they'll take a sip and go, oh, boy, you were right. And can't even finish it. But
I kind of like my coffee like I like my whiskey. Yeah. I don't like mixing with stuff. I like tasting what I'm drinking.
Okay. Yeah. I like it in that same way, except for I like it strong so I can just sip it.
Yeah. Like my whiskey.
Yeah, same thing. I was never big on drinking games like in college. People be playing beer pong and flip cup and all this stuff. And I get it. That's what you want to do. It's all good.
Circle of Death game.
Yeah, and like the coins and just all this kind of stuff. Like I get it. It's fun. I like playing games. But I was always the guy that was sitting over on the side sipping my whiskey and getting just as drunk as everybody else on my own time. I just I was never let's see how fucked up we could get.
Yeah.
You know?
Were you ever in any fraternities or anything?
Nah.
Yeah, me neither. I couldn't
afford it.
No, well, it's like my thing is I had friends anyway, and I was a bartender. So I mean, fraternities I don't really get it. I guess. I mean, maybe I do.
Well, that's more like to me, in hindsight,
like drinking buddies.
I didn't get it so much at the time because I remember saying for years I was like, I'm not paying for my friends. I'll just make friends on my own. I get that, but looking back, I've known so many people that have got great jobs now just through fraternity connections.
Alliance,
yeah, and I mean that's what it is. That's what it's. It's not buying necessarily your friends. It's buying your way into connections that'll get you places in life.
Yeah, it's like
anything else.
It's like an upgraded diploma.
Yeah. Yeah. You can say I graduated, but also I was in this club.
This stamp right
here. Yeah. Because I know a guy that it was kind of because he played football in college instead of a fraternity, but it's kind of similar in the way that it's a group, it's a gang of people who have done the same thing and been through the same shit. But he's got a job with a medical sales company, just raking it in.
Oh yeah, medical sales, dude.
And he might listen to this, and if so, kudos to you.
Kudos.
You know who I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, he got that through a connection of, I think through a football buddy or something like that. So it happens. It's life. Life is connections and who you know, how hard you work, and how lucky you are. That's a connection of all. It's the intersection of all that.
I think you just explained Nashville.
I don't know if I could explain Nashville. I've been here 8 years almost. And
I've been here 11.
It's like dark hallway.
It's a dark hallway, but there's some light every once in a while.
Yeah, there's good. I mean, it's the blessings definitely outweigh the curse.
Yeah.
Side of doing what we do, but there's
a lot of curses.
Yeah, it's still a bitch sometimes.
Curse words.
Yeah. So when you moved here, what did you like? You knew Lee? Did you know a bunch of other people, like his buddies or anything?
No, man, I didn't know anybody. When I moved here, it was just my brother, and I knew him. And then like he had his group of friends, but they were all his friends and his writers and stuff like that. So I was able to move up here, and my first job I was able to get was over at 12th and Porter, which couldn't have been a better job for me to get.
Bartending?
I was bartending.
Cool.
And so, because I'd been bartending before, and so I got up here and did that, and met some great people, met a great staff, working there, and that's where I actually got my first group. It's like as soon as I got here, like a couple months into it, my buddy David Oakleaf, he was bartending. You've met him probably around. He was over the east side, Nashville. I think he had a lot to do with Anthony Billups over at the basement.
Okay,
and stuff
that's
like
probably
that.
where I heard the name.
Yeah, but him and I were boys, me and him, and we started like a little duo and started going around just playing shows, like Mississippi, South Carolina, Kansas.
Yeah. So when you were coming up, did you want to be an artist or in a band, or what were your aspirations?
My aspirations when I first came here, I was being young, honestly, just being a kid, and like I'd already written a few songs, so in my brain I was a songwriter, and I'd play in front of people, so I guess that kind of made me the artist part. I loved it. I loved doing it. It's fun. Right. And so when I first came to Nashville, those weren't my plans to be an artist writer. I was just kind of throwing in the wind to see what would happen. And I guess, and then about a couple years into it, like started getting to the decision of, I'm getting a little older now, and when I say older, I'm still in my mid-20s, and
right. And, but the time comes. Yeah, I remember hitting that point when you're like, okay, what am I doing? Like, what am I working toward here? Because I can't just be pissing in the wind for 30 years.
Right.
You gotta,
And it's like I was bartending still, and like a bunch of things. So it's probably one of about 3 years. I was on I got on the Can You Duet show. That was fun.
Man, I remember. What was that? Was that on CMT?
Yeah, CMT. I was on the second season, I think. With I was
that. How did that work? Like they just called you up with somebody? And
they did. Well, you went in either as a single or a duo or however you wanted to.
I remember that being on and watching it, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I was on a good season. I was on the second season. I think I think our season was the last season. I think they tried one more season, but it didn't go through. But yeah, I forgot who was on the first season, but the second season. It was like Caitlin and Will, I think, ended up winning it. But then I was actually fortunate to be on the season with Joey and Rory. I was able to meet them and hang out with them. They were blessed. Joey was just an angel, and so Roy, same thing. Both of them just beautiful.
I've never heard anybody say anything not awesome about them. Yeah, like everybody I know that has talked about them said how great of people they are.
They really were just like the most, Roy, both of them. They were just beautiful people, and I was able to go out to their farm at one point, saw the cow shooter.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
But that was cool. And so we did that, and the duo kind of kept going for a little bit, and it got around. I think I was a couple of years down the road, and I got to a point like the duo wasn't really hitting it anymore. He was wanting to do his thing. I was wanting to do my thing, and so a few other events happened. What was kind of the last catalyst. Our guitar player, Bruce Holloway, he got in a motorcycle accident. Sad story. He was a great man, great guitar player. And so after that happened, that was kind of right around the time my nephew was getting born, and I was up there. But the bunch of stuff was happening. I was around 26. I guess I would call that my quarter life crisis if there was one. But at 26, and so because that had happened, the band was breaking up, and I had just gotten out of bartending, and I was between jobs, and so I was actually helping my dad out a little bit, and then, man, it was like on a July or August day, I was working my dad down in the ditch, 6 feet. Like I said, he does electrical work, so we wire up baseball fields pretty much, like do all the lights and shit for that.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, I'm 6 feet down in a hole with digging in red clay just to dig up a wire that's in a pipe, had a fault in it, to cut the pipe off, to take the wire apart, to put it back together, put it back in the pipe, to bury it back under, and all this whole time it's 96 degrees outside, no wind.
Sounds like so much fun.
And And I was sitting there, and I'm looking up to the other dude that's running the excavator, just sitting there. And I'm like, no, man,
no,
this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And so that night I went home and I learned like 25 songs. And I was like, that'll cover 2 or 3 hours. Any kind of set I need to do. Yeah. And after that, I just started, I started playing gigs and started getting back into the game. And eventually I started coming back to Nashville a lot more. I mean, I was still living here. I was kind of
back and forth.
Yeah. But then I was like, I finally made a decision. No, I ain't doing that. So yeah. Then I got enough gigs to start to support me, and then about a year after that is when I kind of got I got a pub deal, this small pub deal through my brother's company and whatnot. So
nice. It's weird, like it's great to have that moment, but it's also like weird to stop and think how many people never have that moment. They might feel the same exact way, but they never have that moment of
where you make the decision.
Yeah, where they're never like, no, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it anymore. You know, and Dad told me one time that we were talking about somebody that was working a job and talked about somebody that's bitched about their Monday to Friday job but didn't ever do anything about it. They just went and worked because that's what you do. And I was talking about that and wishing that they would chase whatever passion they have, chase something. I want that for everybody to have something that burns inside of them so much that they want to go chase it. And Dad said, well, son, not everybody is lucky enough to know what that is. And I'd never thought about that before. I was like, wow, like I am blessed and cursed, but more blessed that I actually know what makes me happy. A lot of people out there, the reason they go to their job that they hate is because they don't know anything else. They don't know what else to do.
That's what they're born into, Yeah. And a lot of people that I grew up with, that's what, they're growing up to. You grow up, you go to school, so you get high school, you go to college, or you go straight to work, and you work your 9 to 5 or 5 to 10, and you just don't go out of that world. And you take your vacations, right? And there's nothing wrong with that because
you can't just talk trash about that because that's what my dad did. That's what Mom does. I mean, that's what they both do.
That's what a lot of my awesome friends, they're happy as a pig.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're not telling about my life about well, dude, what'd you do? I was like, well, man, I was in Nashville for a day, then I flew to Alaska, then back to Nashville, then Tijuana, then back to Nashville, then Key West, and back to Nashville. And I said, how long? I mean, what was that couple? I was like, no, that's all in like 2 weeks. And it was like, man, are you kidding me? There ain't no way you could pay me to do that. Yeah. That's what some people. But to me, if I'm sitting in somewhere too long, I start getting cabin fever.
For sure.
I can't. I don't like it. I like
the last couple of days. I've had the Merle Haggard song, "The Running Kind," stuck in my head.
Nice.
It says, "I was born the running kind, leaving always on my mind. Home was never home to me at any time. Every front door found me hoping I would find the back door open. There just had to be an exit for the running kind." I just woke up and saw that online somewhere, and I've been singing it in my head the last 2 or 3 days. It's just so good.
A lot of true words to it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I heard a woman talking the other day about her son had just graduated high school last year, and she told him, I would rather pay for you to travel the country or the world or whatever for a year than to send you to college if you don't know what you want to do. And I just almost think that everybody, and I don't know how you can't really force people to do this, but I almost think that everybody should have to go travel for a year, at least, after high school.
Mm-hmm. I believe that. I like that.
Because you learn, not only do you learn about yourself, but my mind has broadened so much more about other people and other kinds of people and other cultures of people since I've started traveling. You meet people in other areas of the country or from other parts of the world, and you realize they're just people. They're like you and me that just want to do what they want to do and breathe and drink water and eat food and have a place over their head, And I don't know. I think a lot of people would benefit from travel more. Get out there, folks. Go travel. Go somewhere that you're uncomfortable and learn about it.
Yeah, you'll be surprised at the people you meet because definitely everybody puts their pants on generally the same way.
in the same direction. You know, sometimes I get hoppy.
Yeah. In more time, you got to do the one leg hover.
I have fallen over before putting my pants on.
It happens, I've fallen over doing a lot of things before. On stage, off stage.
Yeah. So you mentioned Key West. Do you spend a lot of time down there?
Yeah, man. Not as much the past year or so. But before that, I've gone down there. That's been a big part of getting me to be who I am. And I think probably about 4 or 5 years ago, like I really was hitting hard down there. Like, and I was kind of.
What do you like? What do you do down there? I've never been. I know what it is, but like, what kind of stuff you get into?
There's a place down there called Smoking Tuna. That's really the hub.
Heard of it.
That's really kind of the main hub for Songwriters Festival.
Okay.
And I've done the Songwriters Fest a couple of years, a few times, and it's a lot of fun. But I go down there and I'm just like my buddy Nick Norman lives down there, and and that's always been my connection. I've been going down there for the past 10 years, and so that's kind of like a second home for me. And like I said, about 4 years ago, I was really like when I went out, like I did the full band thing for a year, and that's pretty draining, especially if you're doing it by yourself. And when you're booking yourself and you have to take prices that don't necessarily match your budget, and then
preach it, brother, preach it.
You just keep going through it. So I did that for a year, and I really was stubborn about it. Like, I wanted to go a full year just to prove to myself that I could tour with a full band, like, every weekend. So we did it. We humped it out, and the business itself, I think, took a loss, but the gains I got from, like, fans and actually really just put my music out there, and the venues and the relationships I got that were well worth it. So, and it spread to the next year, and so on and so forth. And
it's a give and take, for sure.
After that year, I was like, well, you know what? I was like, because at that point, like, I was out every weekend and I was supporting my band. And so when you're supporting your band and like, because when you feel like you're not being busy enough to keep your guys supported, like, it drains on yourself as the leader of the group, as the band, and it's your business. And so if you have any business sense or you have any care about your guys that work with you, get you where you're going, then it really takes a toll on you.
Right.
Stress.
It's such a balance of, because I went through that when I first started playing on the road. Like, first started in 2012, but really 2013 and 14, we were busy just almost every weekend, just like you're talking about. And it was just like you were talking. It was taking gigs that I knew I was not going to make even enough money to pay the band. And maybe it was still beneficial, maybe not, but I was doing it to keep work for the band, to keep everybody busy, so you have a tight band. And then it's a common thing. Yeah. But you can only do that for so long until you have no more money or no more credit cards,
True.
And at some point you got to make a business decision on how and, to keep going. And
And my decision was like, well, I know I can make money doing acoustic. I know I could make a shit ton of money doing acoustic by myself. So at the end of the year, I told my guys, hey, man, next year is going to be different. Like, I want you guys to have you around, but I'm going to be doing as many acoustic gigs as I possibly can. And then, and if they want the full band, they're going to pay for it to where I'm not going to have the stress of where I'm not going to lose money.
It's only understandable. I mean,
and so, like, the thing is, I had enough acoustic gigs where, like, so I can go to I went to Key West, for I think 3 weeks straight. I played like 18 shows in 15 days and like 4-hour shows. And so, and like, it's a lot of playing, a lot of stuff, but to me, like, I'm fine with that because I'm still the business is making money, and so and to me, as long as I can keep my business rolling, I mean, that's my life. I keep rolling if my business keeps rolling.
Yeah, for sure.
And but what I was saying about that, it sounded like I spent a lot of those, like, over and over 4-hour gigs. Like, I mean, just so many of them, and that's where I really grew as an artist, about reading the crowd, being my own performer on stage, comfortable talking,
right?
Different, not just reading the crowd and singing, but also singing the muscle of the voice of singing.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, it's like any other muscle. You exercise it and it builds and it gets stronger and better.
Yeah, over those 2 years, I went from this guy to where I started building to where I am now. And so, and I could tell a significant difference. And then a lot of other people, they'll say, man, now that hadn't seen me with the full band in a couple of years. Now they'll come back and see me now. I was like, holy shit. So
yeah, I remember. I think you played. Did you play that? Did we play that show together at 12th and Porter, like 2012? I think you did because that's where I met Ashley.
Was that the one with Raylan Nelson?
No, it was Wayne Mills.
Oh yeah, I was on that show.
Yeah, I think it was us three.
Yep, that was one of the last shows I was able to play with Wayne.
Yeah, I think that's when I met you that night, and known you and seen you off and on through the years. But at some point in the last, I think like a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I remember I saw you, and I hadn't seen you for a year or two before that, like perform, and blew me away. I think it was at the Basement like a couple of years ago, and me and Chance were standing there. I was like, damn, he's always been good, but he's nailing it. Like it was. Anyway, y'all should check Lee Brice out. If you get the chance to go see him, you should definitely do that. Have you ever played shows with Lee? Didn't I see you went on the road, like opened for him?
Yeah, man. About a year or so ago, it's when I first started kind of getting my new record going and everything, my EP and all that stuff, which has been I've been working on for way too long, but it's finally done.
I was going to ask about that, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, he took me out. I think it was part of a Jaeger tour, and it was like he brought me out. And I was out probably for 3 or 4 weeks, man. And we went we did a big West Coast run.
Nice.
And that's my first time playing on the West Coast. And they accepted me really well.
I'm going to California in a couple of weeks. Can't wait.
Dude,
I'm excited.
They like music out there, man.
Yeah, I'll probably take my guitar, maybe sit on a street corner.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. I love it.
Well, cool. Yeah, where all did you play out there? When you played?
We played some really good, cool venues. We played this one cool winery up in, I think, like around Northern California, somewhere around there. It was really cool. That was a big venue. And then we played the Nokia Theater in L.A., and it was packed. It was cool because like that theater had like the bottom floor was like below you, and then like the second floor rafters was like right in front of you. So it was a really cool setup.
Interesting.
But those acoustic gigs, like I'm saying, those acoustic gigs I did previous, like just growing up, gave me being comfortable in front of bigger crowds and just me and my acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
It's like I prefer the band just because it's more fun, but I'm more comfortable with just me and my guitar.
I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally feel the same way. Damn. Sometimes you're about to say something, and then it just goes right away. Tell me about the EP.
So the EP, we finally got it done. It'll have 6 songs on it. I've had these songs for a while, but we finally came to a culmination of the actual 6 songs we want to start off with to kind of present the project of the whole record. And I like them. I think they're really cool. I was able to write some really cool songs with some great writers, and I think we're having the pre-release on May the 18th or 19th.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's coming. Yeah,
it's coming up next couple weeks. So we'll do that, and then every week leading up to it, I went out and I went and cut acoustic versions of all the songs, and did videos of them. And I think we're trying to get the audio, and maybe try and get them like if they're like a free download or something like that. So what we're going to do is like on a Monday, we'll come in and I'll put on my social medias about explaining what we're going to do for the next 8 weeks, and be like, hey, on Thursday, I'm going to have an acoustic version of Best X Ever coming out. So, and I'll explain the song. I'll be like, hey, this is one of the songs that right, girl, Best X Light, whatever.
Yeah, behind the song kind of thing. Yeah.
And then on the Thursday, we'll do it's a cool little acoustic video we did.
My most important question is, I Can't Call You Baby on there. Oh no! It's my favorite Lee Brice song.
I know, but I think that's gonna be on the record or either next week. Okay, but that will be cut. I do have a cut version of it, and it sounds awesome.
It's such a good song. I remember we've all played at the Blue Bar? Yeah, I think we all played at Blue Bar one night, and like there's more people on stage singing that song than there were out in the crowd. Yeah, I love that song. I remember we played a show in Wisconsin, up there
at Aaron Shriver's house.
Yeah, at Aaron Shriver's. Yeah. Aaron. Aaron's got. We have 2 kids now.
Yeah, man. He just had another one.
Just popping them out up there, popping them out.
Yeah, man. I saw him recently.
Yeah, but I remember hearing that. We played a party up there, and I was like, "That's a badass song."
Thank you.
And so are you gonna do the EP and then a full? Because some people just do the EP. Like I've just done 3 EPs.
Yeah.
And that's them. But some people do the EP before they release a full album, which will be like those 6 plus 7
6
more or 6 more, or whatever.
I'm thinking that's the route I want to go. And so, like I said, we'll actually have the release on the actual full release, not the pre-release. We'll have the full release on July 13th or 14th.
Okay.
And I think we're going to do our release party at the Stage.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Stage. I haven't been in there. I haven't been in the Stage or in Tootsie's. I don't even know how long. I did take, when I turned 21, my best friend and I came to Nashville.
What was that, like last year?
No, it was 2008. I had to think about that. Wow. But yeah, I took my first shot as a 21-year-old at the Stage, and I bought my first case of beer as a 21-year-old at a gas station, which is no longer there. Oh. It's on, on Division Street when you're going by Losers and Winners, and you're going toward 21st.
Yep.
And there's that
little corner
restaurant. Yeah, that used to be that gas station, crappy looking corner store. Yeah, that's where I bought it. Okay. And for years, every time I drove by, I was like, that's where I bought my first case of beer. And now I can't do that anymore.
Now it's like a wine bar or something.
Yeah, it's something fancy. Something that has valet parking, which usually means I can't go.
Right. I just found all right. Just park on Lyle Street. Remember that. If you hear this, Lyle Street, you can normally park there.
Lyle Street. But yeah, the Stage, that'll be cool. I just don't ever. What day? Do you know what day of the week you're going to do it on?
We're doing it on a Friday.
Ooh.
Or either Thursday or Friday night. We're going to go to Buster.
Man, I'd have to do it like a Monday.
Well, we're going to do it like
I mean, you want people to be there.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the point of it.
Well, that's the thing is we're going to kind of do it. We're actually going to shut off the bar to like the main public. It's going to be somewhat private. We're going to have special passes. We're going to pass out the whole week before.
Okay.
And also might do some like online stuff where you can buy like. Just get a ticket online if you want to come, so that way it can be personalized a little more. And then, and I'm trying, like I say, get the industry people, the suits and all that stuff in there, and
keep the crazies out.
Yeah, tell
the crazies to go to Honky Tonk Central.
That's right. Crazy man, Honky Tonk. I was in there the other night.
Man, and Nashville, downtown's just gotten so much crazier. It was crazy in 2009. It's just nuts now.
It's insane.
I remember. When I played, because I played down there for a couple of years on 2nd Avenue and some on Broadway. And at that time, after Halloween, other than New Year's Eve weekend, between Halloween and St. Patrick's Day in March, there was nothing going on. There was hardly anybody downtown ever all through the winter time. I would play acoustic gigs and make like $1 in tips. Nobody. And now it's just every week it's covered
every week, every night. It's just something.
And I hate to sound like I'm complaining about it, but
well, it drains on the body.
It does. I used to go out would go out on a Monday or Tuesday and see my friends that are playing, and now I don't even want to go mess with it.
Yeah, downtown is nuts, man.
Oh, let's see. Well, what else is new? What do you got coming up? You got the EP thing you talked about.
Yeah, the EP thing's coming up.
You playing a lot of shows right now, or are you doing a lot of prepping for the
No,
EP?
I'm not many shows in town, but out of town. Like I said, I got a couple of shows coming up playing. I'm actually got support to my brother.
This is coming out today. I'm cutting it close on this one. So this is coming out today, Tuesday, April 25th of 2017. So what shows you got coming up?
All right. So I guess we're in Louisville, Kentucky on May the 4th.
Okay.
That is at Live Wire, Live, 4th on Live.
Let's see. It's no, it's not what I want to. We'll just look it up on the old computer here.
It's on the old computer.
Let's see. We'll just go to lewisbrice.com.
Yeah, I think it's on there. I told my guy to update my dates, so hopefully it is updated.
Yeah, what you got coming up?
So May 4th, I'm going to be in Louisville, Kentucky at 4th Street Live, and that's support to my brother, Lee Brice.
Oh, nice.
If I understand, that's going to be a pretty packed house. And then the next night, we're at 8 Second Saloon in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're support to the Swan Brothers.
Nice.
So that'd be cool. And
that'd be good.
June, actually, I need to add some more dates on it. He even got my Louis Palooza on there. What you talking?
Uh-oh.
So Louis Palooza is coming up June 6th.
Okay.
And
is that the thing you do here at the Tin Roof?
Tin Roof DeMumbrin, yeah.
Okay.
So this year we're taking a little twist on it. It's going to be huge.
Okay.
We've actually got the big stage out back in the parking lot this year.
Oh, yeah.
I got a couple of my buddies coming out this year.
Is it in that parking, that big pay to park area or whatever?
Yep. Yeah. So we're taking up that whole parking lot by the rhythm. Yeah. We're going to have a bus parked up in there for all the artists. Jack Daniels is coming in with us. We're going to tent off the whole thing.
Sounds fantastic so far.
Yeah, we got Loaded Vodka coming in with us. Hope Song Foundation is the foundation that we're doing. There's going to be the beneficiary.
Okay.
They're going to be for the benefit. It's going to be what Hope Song is. It's my buddy Ed Clay lives down in Tijuana, Mexico, where he has a hospital down in Tijuana, Mexico, and they do alternate treatments for cancer. Like rather than chemo, they do like high dose vitamin C, Gerson diet, just other things,
different,
natural, holistic stuff.
Cool.
And so, which they've had a lot of great results come out of it, and so I go and they have a foundation. It's a Chips Hospital, but my buddy Satterfield and Ed, they started a foundation called the Hope Song Foundation. And so what that does is like they have connections here in Nashville to a lot of artists.
Yeah.
And so they bring artists down to come. I have to get him in touch with you actually. I think you'd love it.
I'm gonna write that down.
They
is there a website for that? Hope Song?
I bet it's hopesong.com.
Let's just look it up here. See if that's it. That's not it.
That is not it. Not.
We'll just Google it.
Hope Song. See, please help support Hope Song.
Oh, right there.
That's it.
Okay. hopesong.dntly.com.
That's it.
I'll put it in the show notes and link to that and everything. So they bring people down to write?
Yep, we're going to write. We write for a week, whatnot, but every day we go to the hospital and we play for a couple hours for the patients.
That's awesome.
So that hospital probably has like 16 to 17 patients there at a time, and they're all like stage 4 terminal cancer, like been sent home to get comfortable.
Right.
And so this is kind of like their last little hope of chance.
Try something, yeah.
And so what this foundation does, it not only does it bring artists down there, but they have different donors that donate to the cause, and what they'll do is they'll give, if there's a treatment going on and one of the patients are starting to have success and they want to continue the treatment but they have no more money or something like that. A lot of times they raise money to give people scholarships.
Okay.
So which is like
to help out for the treatments and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So I think this one lady, she had some type of tumor like on her forehead or whatnot.
Yeah.
And they wanted this new treatment, I think with like vitamin K, and it makes the bonds with vitamin C that makes the like 1,000 times stronger, which kills the cancer, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they it started working. They started having results with it, so they wanted to keep her in the program, and they were like they didn't really have much money, so I think they gave her a grant for like $14,000 or something like that to keep going. So it's a really good cause. You got to go check it out. They got a cool video posted online.
Yeah, so the Louis Palooza thing this year is going to go. The money is going to go to that.
Yep.
Very cool.
So I think Tin Roofs donate like 10% of the sales, and so this could be a really cool lineup. I got Michael Ray's gonna be there, Jared Neiman, myself, American Young, Love and Theft, Satterfield, John Wesley Satterfield, Tyler Reeve, and then you never know who else is going to show up. I got a couple
something like that for sure.
Yeah, there'll be a little guest round, a little special guest round.
Yeah, man.
A couple.
Well, if I'm in town, I'll be there for sure.
Totally, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. All right, let's go at the shows. I got a question.
Yes.
I think I may start asking this for folks. I don't know. We'll see. You're the first one.
All right.
So how old were you when you moved to Nashville and you said, all right, you said mid-20s was when you said you were going to start focusing and really get into it. That's when you were in the ditch.
Yeah,
in the ditch. Said, screw this.
26 years old. I was 23 when I moved to Nashville.
I'm going to learn okay. So around that time, what would you, if you could go back now and tell yourself at 23, 24, 25 about the music business, or what would you tell yourself?
Okay. I like that question. If
there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think what I would tell myself. If anything, I would just tell myself probably just to write more. Write more and probably be a little more diligent on like me actually learning my craft a little more at an earlier age. Yeah. Because I've always, like I said, I've always learned it, but I've never really dialed in and really learned like the really the in-depths of the theories and all the stuff. Yeah. I could be a way better guitar player, is what I'm trying to say. But also in the writing wise, just do more of it. And the networking wise, I've really done all the network I could possibly do. Right. So really
there's always, nobody's perfect. There's always things, you could go back and do better. I know even back to high school when you're like working out for football and stuff, I wish I could go back then and tell myself, look, if you would just don't try to skip 5 sit-ups, because coach isn't looking, or, focus on the lift that you're doing instead of thinking about whatever, your girlfriend or, that like, but and that goes forward anything, it's kind of like focus on what you're doing, but it's hard, it's hard to do in the moment.
It is.
When you're living and you've got 900 things flying at you and.
Yeah, it's a lot easier said than done. Because even still, when I think about it, like throughout all this stuff, I still was working. Yeah, you still got your personal life to take care of and all that stuff. But if anything, I would say just focus more on the music. Yeah, that's in a short sense.
Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for coming in. Anything else you want to tell the folks?
Man, I think we're all good.
Anything for the ladies? Any messages for the ladies out there?
Well, go check out lewisbrice.com.
All right. Yeah, lewisbrice.com. Check him out. Thanks for talking, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Well, my memory's crap sometimes, folks, and I say that to tell you this. I forgot to get Lewis to record some acoustic music with me, like I've been doing with the guests. So what you're hearing in the background there is just me messing around. Sorry about that, Lewis, but we had a fun talk. I enjoyed it. I think he enjoyed it, and I really hope you did too. Info and links on our talk, the things Lewis and I discussed, him and the Hope Song organization, and other things, all the notes and everything will be up in the show notes page at don'tstifleme.com/008. Ocho. Thanks for listening, folks, friends, family. I love you all. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, check out the other episodes, leave a review, share with your friends, all that good, helpful stuff. If you have any feedback, please email that to jacob@don'tstifleme.com. Feedback, questions, whatever you got. Check out the podcast social medias at DSM Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Mine are at Jacob Stiefel on Twitter, Instagram, and that Snapchat thing that I use from time to time. Merchandise and my tour dates, they're up at jacobstiefel.com. That's JACOBSTIEFEL.com. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the episode and my rambling and my playing here in the background. I've got like 4 or 5 conversations booked over the next 10 days or so. So we'll at least have that many more of these episodes. And so come back, check them out, tell your friends, and I will talk to you next time. Here's some music to play you out. Have a great day.